Whoa.
Hey, the boys are back.
Yo,
All in the U.S.
America.
Yo. Yo. How's it going, man? How's it feel?
Feels pretty good. I'm feeling pretty tired.
Yeah, when's
I wonder why.
what time would it be? Oh, it'd be 6 a.m. Or no, sorry, it'd be like 4 a.m. or something.
3.
3?
Yeah, but I went to Frankfurt Airport yesterday. We woke up at 4 a.m. Germany time, so that's like 10 p.m. on Saturday in Eastern time. So it's been a long
Okay.
day.
Well, thank you for joining. Wanted to document and just formally welcome you back, our boy Roy, for future us looking at our videos, which is probably the only people that are ever going to be looking at this. Welcome back, Roy. You feel that much closer. You know, we're not together, but you definitely feel just like you're more accessible. So
Yeah, the country got a little shittier.
a little more crowded. Thanks.
Yeah, glad to be back.
What did you end up having for dinner, Panda?
Yeah, I got Panda Express.
He would.
Authentic American food. And I got I got to read my fortune cookie.
Okay.
It says, "You are exactly where you're supposed to be."
Did that hit home? Did that feel wait, it says Alvin's waiting to be I mean, I'll admit you, I don't know what the fuck.
Alvin's right there.
Well,
Oh, he's gone.
I think he was calling from his phone or something. He called from his
Oh,
Yeah, I had to restart my computer.
Nice. This is a little bit looks nicer on the squares.
this freaking.
But that's pretty cool like fortune to get. It just kind of maybe someone needed to tell you that, you know, you were having second thoughts, or just it was weird to be back here. You don't know if this is where the destiny has brought you, but you know.
No, man, I'm not having second thoughts. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be closer to Mocha. And we're all going to California pretty soon.
It's Mr. Coca Bear to you.
Mr.
Mr.
Mocha.
Mr. Coca.
Mr. Mocha, NBA candidate. He, his, Alvin to you.
Yep.
How's so wrapping up, just to catch up on beers, on the actual, like, just your guys' school wise. We can chat just. Well,
Sorry, bro. I'm having my Kona beer real quick.
Your Kona beer.
Local Kona.
Fresh from Hawaii.
Did you finish? You finished exams yesterday?
Today, like a few hours ago.
On a Sunday?
Yeah, they opened it up on Tuesday at 8 a.m. and you can do 5 exams over 6 days, and it was brutal. So yeah, you guys know what's happening with Mariah. So the last couple of nights have been rough.
Yeah.
So have not been able to sleep well, and then just wanted to get the strategy exam knocked out. So I got that done today, just in time. Yeah.
Nice, Sharoon. You busy taking exams, or what's your schedule looking like? Are you? I mean, you guys are basically, well, after your exams, Alvin. Are you? What's left until you go on a kind of longer break?
So I mean, this is the start of break essentially. After that final was done, I'm off till. I mean, school doesn't kick back in till 18th of January.
Damn.
Yeah, but I've got, so like we'll find out about like interview invites here in the next couple of weeks, and then interviews will happen in that first couple of weeks of January. So I've got all of December, well, most of it to prep for interviews. That means like the case interview prep for consulting firms, or behavioral interviews for other firms, or in fact, behavioral interviews for consulting firms as well.
So that's I mean, it's relatively low stress. Just you still some work, but then
no, it's the opposite. Yeah,
yes, way more case interview preps, way more stressful and important than your classwork.
Yeah, it's actually madness. What goes into it.
How many hours, or what's taking up?
So I've practiced like about between 15 and 20 cases, and it's only December 6th. I'm targeting to hit in the 50 or 60 range before January rolls around. So I've got 2 a day planned so far for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm trying to maybe make it up to 3 a day, but on a few days a week. We'll see.
Yeah. How many hours does one take you on average?
One way it's like 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. So, but that's all just like, that's practicing, but then you have to kind of do your own kind of homework, you know?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sharon, you going on break anytime soon?
No, I have exams in 2 weeks. So, like, next week it will be like the last week of classes.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then the following week is finals week.
And how long's your break? When do you go back? Or
I actually do not know. They have not released a calendar yet, but I think it's mid-January, like Alvin.
Probably after MLK.
Yeah.
I was asking Sharon if he got a haircut, and he's taking advantage of that. The last day before the shelter in place, California is going on lockdown, and yeah, God knows for how long. Probably till the rest of December, right? I mean,
It depends. The Southern California one currently is only until the 28th. But yeah, it's indefinite, and like they can change it anytime.
yeah. Well, looks good.
Thanks.
What about your internship? Sir, are you looking around much?
Well, the energy companies, they sort of come in like early next year. So you just like the applications open on the 16th, I think. And then
You prepping in any way, kind of like Alvin does, or
the what?
are you prepping in any way, or are you? What's that like?
Not really. I think if you're in consulting, I think you do a lot of case preps. For the energy, I have not, like, it's basically like talk about your experience and what you want to do, behavioral mostly. So yeah, not as intense as Alvin.
Yeah, I did the McKinsey case interview was so intense, and then like the Eon interview was
Walk in the park.
yeah, it was so chill.
And Israel, that was kind of the rationale for me to kind of go into consulting recruiting. I mean, it wasn't really the end goal. For me, it was just to practice the consulting cases. And a lot of these corporate strategy roles, they end up giving you a case. So it was good for me to get the reps in for that corporate strategy roles. Yeah.
No, it sounds like, I mean, I think after coming out of this, your confidence in case study and just the analysis, overall business analysis is going to be great. So I think even, whatever comes out of it, you're going to be just that much more kind of fine-tuned into a business case analysis.
Yeah, I think it makes me feel good a little that I've gotten like some traction in this consulting space so that I can actually put some effort into it, like so that if I'm remotely interested in actually taking a consulting gig, it would be good for me to practice and give my best in the interviews.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of switching up to Roy. So you're going to be starting at this new company. Has there been any like, hey, we know you start officially in office, whatever. So when do you start actually, I guess?
My first day is the 16th.
Okay.
So tomorrow I have a drug test and a health screen. They sent me some stuff to read, and I got an invite for a webinar tomorrow, which is it's a public webinar with the New York Commission on climate change, or I forget the name of the commission, but it's one of the main government bodies that I'll have to work with. So I'm going to join that when I finish my drug test. So yeah, I'm going to do a little pro bono work.
Well, what I was asking was, if they kind of prep you in, are they just expecting you that on the 16th that you start, that is that when you like start training or like, you know, kind of reading into documents, or have they been slowly feeding you some things to acclimate?
Yeah, well, it'll be similar to when we started at Cummins, right? So the first day is all onboarding. You know, here's how to sign up for your 401k, health insurance,
Yep.
history of the company, whatever. Then there'll be like breakout sessions with people that you might work with. Friday is like a mixer. You know, it would probably be like dinner and drinks, with not for COVID. Instead, it'll just be like an informal web call. And then since I'm starting so close to Christmas, I guess it'll be kind of slow. I'll just be doing trainings and stuff, and then start doing real work in January. I got my first assignment. I'm going to be working with, we're hiring either BCG or McKinsey to do a strategy for mid-range and heavy duty, like fleet charging management. So I'm going to work with a consultant on that. Pretty stoked.
Awesome.
Oh,
Man, that's exciting.
They already gave you who you're going to work with?
They sent me, like, they put together a request for the consulting firm. Basically, they want to get like a breakdown of all the type of fleet vehicles that run in New York, which ones would be like the most profitable, where we need to beef up infrastructure, like a big scope, like a big, I guess it's like a 3 to 6 month long consulting scope. So they're bidding it out. I asked the guy, you know, I asked my boss, I've been talking to my boss once every 2 weeks. So I talked to him about it, and he was like, yeah, since I have the Cummins fleet experience, he wants me to work together with the consultant on that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. We've got some calls with Amazon and Pepsi and Uber on, I don't know, trying to figure out what they need. So, because my job is going to be demonstration projects. So it's like, okay, yeah, do the first pilot with a company, like, okay, a shipping company like Amazon. Do a first pilot with them on warehouse and take all the data from that and try to show, you know, how.
And what's the product?
Charging points.
For a bus?
The infrastructure for charging via any vehicles.
Yeah, whatever they want to plug in. So there's like 3 different levels. You've got your low level 1, which is just for your regular cars, the slow charge. Then level 2, which is faster, and then level 3, which is like heavy duty direct current charging. So when you have big things like buses and trucks, you really need level 3.
It'll be poetic if you get to work on Gillig buses.
Gillig. I mean, they're one of the top brands of buses, like bus manufacturers in the U.S. Do you guys do
Is that what Cummins sells to Gillig?
Yeah, Gillig. What's
It's
the
like JV or partnership.
What's the charging thing that drops from the top? I think it's like Telegraph or something. Hold on,
Telegram.
Pantograph.
Pantograph charging. That was one thing we're working on now. That's pretty cool.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that.
And then there's Pantograph, and there's like the wireless, you know, where like, you know, they're trying to just go through conduction or just.
But like, why does that matter? What's so hard about plugging it in?
Well, think about it. If you have a pantograph at every bus stop, you just get on, charge under pantograph, load people up, charge for 5 minutes, and then go instead of.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's just more easy, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
Realizes the process, but.
Yeah, we're 2 hours away from the closest Pentagon.
Pentagon?
What are you doing?
I may have had 2 old fashions.
So lastly, we can.
I had a beer at 5 a.m. today, or today.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
So, but we can start just catching up. But lastly, I had the chance to reach out to all you individually about just an idea regarding just us developing this informal joining of minds into something maybe with potential for something larger further down the line. But I know each conversation that I had with you, each individually stemmed into something different. So like when I talked to Roy, he was interested in maybe some of the recruiting and more MBA consulting. When I talked to Alvin, he was kind of looking into similar, and then Sharon mentioned different things. But I mean, we can. Have you guys had any other thoughts about where we can maybe start focusing in on? I know this is still very preliminary, but
Well, I think that we already talked about it a little bit, but like when I applied to INSEAD and I was on the wait list, I went to this company called Fortuna Admissions Consulting, right? They were like well reviewed on the GMAT Club website that I use, like the GMAT Club forum. And I paid someone like $500, you know, it wasn't cheap, but she had like a really good reputation. She had previously been in the admissions office for some university, I forget which one, but she just reviewed my application and told me what I should change and reviewed some stuff. So I don't know. I think like we could do something like that. Like I would do that for somebody for much less than $500.
yeah, and it's you start anywhere, right? The point is just to start, and like even for the first one is like just to get some experience, because it's going to vary by case and
Yeah.
everyone's target. But yeah, I mean, something, just we got to start something. I don't know.
So the idea that Israel pitched to me was completely different.
Yeah.
So what Israel and I maybe texted about was some like essentially recruiting MBA people to do kind of freelance consulting work at low cost for companies that are struggling, and use our recruiting experience to recruit these MBA people, and almost use us as a board to make sure that the projects or the whatever the MBA consultants are doing are doing well, essentially, you know.
Yeah,
That
so
was
you want
go
to be
ahead.
like partners in a small consultancy that's using MBA students as consultants.
Essentially, at a very low cost, we have very low overhead. Is just like at really cheap costs to these companies, and I'm not sure what the pricing structure will be, but just something to that effect where we almost, it's a service to struggling businesses. You know?
Yeah, and when I brought that was my original concept, and when I brought that to Sharoon, he was like, well, the network that these MBA students have readily accessible to them now, they could do that without, you know, going to a third party to shuffle them off to these businesses.
But they don't though.
I don't know. I don't know how this is set up, and this is where I would need kind of input from you guys on what the current layout looks like. You know, if with my pitch to Sharoon was we started just a small consulting, you know, starting a company and just saying I'm a consulting firm doesn't, you know, just costs a limited license or LLC license, and that's it. You're a consultant. Now it's up to you to go get business and, you know, set all that up. But
Is it more like a Angie's List for consultants? Like find your best consultant and kind of recruit them?
I don't
Or
know.
like
That's
yeah.
it has the potential. We have the potential for anything. It was just an idea, but if we can all agree on something that we all see as reasonable or has something like some meat behind it, then we chase that idea. So I don't know.
Best Western plus body lotion.
Sharon, you mentioned that on your friend or that the person you knew just was like, oh yeah, here's my consulting firm. What I'm trying to remember exactly how you were explaining it to me, but what was she doing?
So it was what Roy mentioned. So when I was on the wait list also, so I was trying to this was before I got on the wait list. I was trying to figure out what can I do to improve my application. So I was speaking to a old friend of mine who went to Darden, and she said, hey, I have a friend who has this, she was in the admissions team for Darden. She might be helpful to give you some tips. So I reached out just hoping that it'd be like a friend of a friend trying to help me out. But as soon as I called, she was like, hey, yeah, send me whatever you need at this address. And it was like her LLC. Essentially, it was her and 3 other people from Darden who had graduated, and they had their admissions consulting firm. and they were reviewing applications for people, and they were charging about $120 an hour to review applications. So because like I'd already gone through expressing all this interest, I didn't want to like back out last minute. So I did end up like getting an hour of consulting, which turned out to be 2 hours. They didn't charge me extra, but I think they did a good job. Essentially, they looked at my application, they gave me all the pointers and said, yeah, like, and because they were from Darden and I was going to a Darden interview, it just like made sense to understand and get there are 3 people who went through the same process. So getting there,
and I think in the big scope of things, $120 for someone to give you like some pointers just to ease your mind too. You're not gonna ever miss those $120. Even if it wasn't useful, you're like, it was a positive way to spend $120 versus
exactly
per ones.
Yeah, not only did they go through my application and like point out like what strengths I need to highlight and whatnot, but they had like the second hour of a phone call. One of the guys just like had me do a full dry run of an interview, like basically pretended to be the admissions officer and like just asked me all these questions, and like he said, okay, and then you reviewed those answers with me. So basically I'm saying like, for just being at home on a Zoom call, it was very valuable. And that's something that I thought you were saying, and I think that's something that we could do, basically.
Yeah, I think there's something that we could incorporate all of this into something. We just need more time to talk about it, and I think we can use the break to. I don't want to take any of your guys' brain power or time to dig into anything too deep. I mean, you guys are plenty busy, so perhaps while we're on vacation, we can chat and just strictly just brainstorm and just conceptualize ideas. But not right now. I know you guys are.
Yeah, I want to do it. I want to get a side hustle going. I think we should do it.
Yeah, and I think once I'm in California, I'll be able to, and with Sharoon there too. It'll make sense to have the company be based from there. You guys can work remote, obviously, and still be part of it. But I can handle the logistics and the planning right now. While you guys go through school and finish everything, I can get some things going. So when you guys are done and maybe just less focused or less time consumed on studying and whatnot, we can really dig into it. But yeah,
the one idea that we discussed, Israel, the one benefit that Sharoon and Roy and probably me we have is that we have now this untapped network of MBA people that if we need to rope into, or just have a database of people that we need to tap into, we can, so I think that's great.
Okay, well, yeah, I wanted to formally just be this, like, now we're all on the same page. It was weird trying to get everyone say the same thing to you guys all. It all just stemmed into different things, which is just fine. But now we need to be more concise and start focusing in on something. But we can say that for another time. I know Roy's getting sleepy, but hey, man, we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, bro. Glad you're back.
You guys aren't drinking beer either.
Neither you.
I know. That's why I thought I was gonna get harassed.
No, this is a later meeting. We'll do 2 beers for the next meeting.
Shotgun the first one.
Yeah, shotgun the first one and then sip the next one.
So San Diego.
Oh yeah.
So I texted Perla because you said that you're not gonna come for New Year's.
You're gonna stop the recording for this one?
Let's officially end the BTV. It's okay.
Yeah.
So we're signing off. We do have plans to meet at some point in December, but we will resume our next call when we get some time and when you guys probably are just out of school, and maybe just catch up on how the semester went, what's next, and then we can dive into our business planning. So yeah, I'll stop recording here and we'll chat next time, and we can continue to stay on the call for another 15 minutes. But end of episode. Bye guys.